Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that when we look at everything related to Jon and Dave, is that they really are pouring their life and soul into the Star Wars franchise and really making sure that things are going to turn around for the better when it comes to the community, finding great avenues to reunite the franchise and the fan base at heart, as well as exactly staying close to the vision of George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the kind and great support. Now that brings us to exactly what's going on with Mark Hamill. Now, we know that Mark Hamill is a very busy man. He's working very closely with both Jon and Dave on the return of Luke Skywalker in multiple Star Wars shows. And though, they will be using different types of technology provided by ILM in each and every project to better improve the overall, including Luke into the whole picture here, they're actually creating a new type of tech that's going to be able to create a flawless version of a young Luke Skywalker. Sure, it was all great in Book of Boba, but there were a couple of little things that could have been improved on, right? Such as the synthesized voice, stuff like that. But overall, looking at what Mark Hamill has been talking about for the past couple of months now, he's been a lot more revealing to the fan base. He's been a lot more honest to the Star Wars fans, and that's one thing I gotta at least respect, is that Mark Hamill's coming out of his shell a little bit. He's kind of really telling fans the truth about his thoughts about the sequels, the time that he worked on the sequel trilogy movies and stuff like that, what he likes, what he does not like, especially with those movies, etc. And one of the biggest things that he actually became very apparent with when it comes to the fans is that, with actor Mark Hamill very vocal with the Star Wars community as of late and revealing more secrets about his time working on the sequels, he went on to reveal something substantial to the fan base about his frustrations with Lucasfilm about something regarding Luke Skywalker. Now, he went on to state the following in a recent interview when questioned about Luke. The thing that was just soul-crushing to me for Episode 9 was that Kathy and Bob, at the time, had decided to exclude all my other Star Wars scenes that I filmed for the last movie of the sequels. You see, we had some flashback moments that we filmed and some other spectacular Force Ghost scenes that we completed that never got to be shown to the public, not on the Blu-ray and not even on Disney+. And this seriously bothered me as an actor and as a person who really respects this character and the fans who grew up with Luke after all. Now, let me just stop here for a second. Now, obviously, Mark Hamill's alluding to all the deleted scenes from Kathleen Kennedy that she took part in, and why Episode 9 pretty much had a big marketing delay. You guys may recall that the marketing of Episode 9, it was supposed to ramp up in holiday of 2018, and we never got that trailer during the Christmas season. And so they had to delay it all the way until Star Wars Celebration. The thing about this, alright, the fact that we had to wait so long for the first major teaser and/or trailer for Episode 9 is that it had a lot to do with the reshoots. It had a lot to do with Kathleen Kennedy pulling the plug on many of the scenes that were filmed that were actually advised by George Lucas, how George was actually working close with J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio on how to do things and what to do and what not to do, stuff like that. And basically anything that George was involved in got deleted. And this is why George did not attend the Episode 9 premiere. You guys may recall that he was nowhere to be seen. He was gone. Completely gone. Just not to be seen there. And that's exactly why. Is that he holds that grudge against Kathleen Kennedy for deleting so many great scenes of Episode 9. Even Ian McDiarmid came forward and said that we have so much Palpatine footage that we shot that we could have made an entirely different movie about that. It just goes to show you that this movie could have easily had a part 2. And even Chris Terrio kind of put that out there, that they had discussed that they wanted to do a part 2 of Episode 9. It was something that was being talked about, but Kathleen Kennedy shot that down immediately. So anyways, moving on to the next big thing here that I think a lot of fans need to be aware of, is, he goes on to say, now, making it very clear to the fans that it really was a tough time for him. He's making it clear here that it was a tough time for him as an actor and as a person. Now, apart from what Mark Hamill stated here, behind the scenes, Hamill fought for his Luke scenes to be reinstated on the Blu-ray edition of the movie, and even Disney had refused to do so, as well as Kathleen Kennedy. Hamill remains very angry with Lucasfilm after this tug-of-war situation to get the Luke scenes to go public, which now are thankfully going to be in a planned special edition of The Rise of Skywalker that Bob Iger is planning for a 2024 release window. Hamill remains to have issues with Kennedy after she played a major role in keeping Luke's extra scenes quiet and private from the actual fans. Now, here's the thing about this. They remained to keep a deal in place where Kathleen Kennedy said, all right, you know, we'll keep at least one flashback of Luke. That's it. And we got that. We got one little flashback where Luke is training Leia. Luke falls down on the ground. Leia lifts up her helmet, and that's where there's a narration involved by Luke's Force Ghost. So basically what was supposed to be done was that there was supposed to be a lot more Force Ghost Luke sequences in the movie, spread throughout the film, where Force Ghost Luke would actually narrate the flashbacks of his life, of his earlier life, showing us a younger version of Luke, narrated by the Force Ghost of Skywalker. That's basically what was supposed to be done throughout a large majority of this movie. And the movie was supposed to be even longer than the actual final cut that we got. So it would have been spaced out properly, it wouldn't have been too frequent. You know, we would have gotten so many sequences of Luke going throughout time as a young guy, just learning his way through the Force to becoming the proper Jedi Master that he needs to be. And this was all shot down. Now, thankfully, like I said before, Iger is still working on that special edition of Episode 9. In fact, special editions of the entire sequel trilogy, but only Episode 9 has the most deleted scenes. The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens don't really have all that much that was deleted. There's a couple of sequences here and there, but not a lot. And when you look at Episode 9 now, given that we have a lot of things that were left on the cutting room floor, and how Mark Hamill remains to be very angry with Lucasfilm for really keeping that and holding a lot of the great stuff back, I don't blame him. I really don't blame him, because, again, Luke Skywalker made Mark Hamill's career. You know, it really made him the actor that you all know of. And even though he didn't get a lot of acting roles, this is the very role that at least put him into the spotlight, into pop culture, right? So, overall, I'm really intrigued to hear what each and every one of you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.